we now have enough Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay to sink an axe into. Set in England and Norway in 873 CE, you play Eivor, a Viking who's intent on establishing their own settlement in England and has to contend with Alfred the Great and Saxons who aren't too thrilled at the idea of Viking raiders sailing through their waterways. As I've already gone through how the game changes Assassin's Creed yet again, which has popped up on the screen right now, it's time to chat about what I do and don't like about Assassin's Creed Valhalla so far after getting hands-on with the demo. Plenty has changed in Valhalla since Odyssey, so let's get started. Here's 9 things I liked about Assassin's Creed Valhalla and 3 things I didn't. In the demo, I didn't play what I'd consider a side quest. So I didn't sample any multi-part quests that were separate from the main story, but I did try out 3 new types of mini-quests that are new to Valhalla. Wealth, Mysteries, and Secrets are bite-sized quests that won't take you very long to complete, so they make for a chill little mosey in ye olde England if you don't fancy doing an entire quest. Wealth has you hunting down hidden loot stashes, Secrets lead you to collectibles, and Mysteries are snapshots of life in medieval England. And I kinda loved having them split up in such a clear fashion. Categorising surplus small quests like this in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen makes the map feel a lot more palatable, as you know just how much you have left to do in each region, and can take a break from full-on quests to recruit a cat to your ship, or help an academic study some arrows. After Odyssey's overwhelming size, having quests broken down into these sections make the game feel like it's respecting your time much more, which I'm all in favour of. Assassinating mini-bosses and powerful enemies isn't as simple as it was in Odyssey or Origins. Gone are the days when you could use the same assassinations on ordinary foot soldiers and tougher foes, and guarantee that the assassination was successful, let alone that it dealt damage. Coming up against Slayers or Berserkers in Valhalla, 2 of the new types of enemies, when they're unawares, presents you with a test to make sure that you successfully stab them in the back, neck, throat, wherever. Hit the button when the white and red collide and your assassination is a success. Honestly, it makes assassinations a bit trickier, but it's a welcome change. It never did make sense to me how all those specialised, trained soldiers somehow didn't see you coming despite all their hours on the battlefield, but now Valhalla has fixed that. Plus, you'll have to approach high-level enemies with more care to make sure you're ready for the mini-challenge, as catching them unawares isn't enough for an assassination anymore. And if you fail, they get up, very much aware of your presence, potentially turning what was a perfect stealth run into a loud full frontal assault. No pressure. Mysteries are my favourite type of quests in Valhalla. They're classed as world events, and their one-and-done structure, as in one objective, makes them more than easy to get through, and they don't distract you too much from the thing you set off to do in the first place. See, Mysteries are slices of life in medieval England, where you get insights into how people lived and a look into their everyday lives. Varying wildly from helping an academic pull arrows out of a sacred chair, or fighting a nun in a church, Mysteries add a surprising amount of flavour to the world of Valhalla, and don't take much time to complete at all. They're perfect anecdote material, basically. One thing I really did not like was that during assaults, you're pushed right back to the beginning if you die. Let me explain. During assaults, you have to ram down 3 gates, with larger scores of enemies behind each one, and trickier enemies to boot. After the last gate, there's a mini-boss to fight too. But if you die after breaching the 3rd gate or the 2nd gate, you have to start from the very beginning and do the whole assault all over again. It's a pain in the arse, and I kinda wish there were autosaves after breaching each gate. Okay, I'm done. For now. There's a mighty amount of force behind Eivor's attacks, which raiders are wont to have. So your attacks often knock enemies down, and, when they do, a quick press of the right analog stick button and you'll either stun them with an arrow or stomp them with your foot. This is probably a skill you have to unlock. The demo I played was midway into the game, but it was a sweet way to finish off a foe, and feels just as satisfying as the animations for special combos. Black Flag's sea shanties kicked off an irreplaceable precedent for sailing in Assassin's Creed to be accompanied by belting out seafaring tunes, and Valhalla gives you an extra option when you're taking to England's waterways. Request it and your crew will regale tales of their past deeds, misadventures and victories as you sail along. Although I love sea shanties as much as the next raider, having stories told made the world of Valhalla feel like it had some extra depth, and it gives you backstory to your crew too, who would otherwise be nameless, like the majority of your crew who manned your ship in Odyssey. Valhalla fleshes out the world around you with plenty of minigames too, most of which are completely new to Assassin's Creed. Flighting challenges your rhyming skills, you can piece together pictures, stack rocks, then there's fishing, mastering dexterous controller skills to stay upright in a drinking contest, or seeking out cursed objects hidden in the wild. I love the minigames. Your brain gets a refreshing change of pace as a break from galloping around or leaping into combat, plus a minigame unrelated to stabbing or fighting in Assassin's Creed feels particularly wholesome. From what I played in the demo of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the social stealth was lacking in depth. When you get near a settlement you can raid, Eivor automatically puts on a hooded cloak and can gingerly make their way into the settlement. Guards will spot you for who you really are though, so you've got to be careful. Though I don't know why you'd need to social stealth your way into the town in the first place, as far as I could see, you don't get any bonuses for scoping out the area beforehand, and there's no encouragement to do so in the form of extra wealth or any other bonuses. Well, not that the demo told me about, anyway. I'm betting and hoping that social stealth will be used in main quests in a more impressive fashion, because if that's the extent of social stealth in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's lackluster, to say the least. Odyssey had regenerating health when you were out of combat, which you could nudge along with an ability that healed you a chunk. Valhalla does not have regenerating health. Instead, during fights and around the world, you need to forage for berries and mushrooms, with any extra that you collect after being fully healed turning into rations, which you can consume at any time. I really like this, like a lot. It rewards players who plan ahead and take extra time before an assault or raid to explore the countryside and get enough rations, and adds an extra thrill to fighting mini-bosses when you're running around, desperately seeking out the yellow of a mushroom cluster to heal you. Plus, it gave me an extra reason to explore, as I rode around looking for berries or mushrooms and discovered new places in my search for sustenance. This is a small tweak, but it makes your Valhalla experience a lot smoother. All your small but important commands like whistling, meditating, calling your horse or ship, bringing out a torch, donning a cloak, and fishing can be found in a new radial menu pulled up by pressing down on the D-pad. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a whole lot better than trying to remember which button does what for each of those abilities. Odyssey has legendary beasts and some mythical foes, but Valhalla has put more emphasis on optional mini-bosses being human. During my travels, I found a Dranger fisherman who used to be a warrior and sought an honourable death, and two ancient Briton princesses, Cordelia and Regan, who used magic to try and avenge their father's death. I way prefer fighting humans because A, there's no pitiful animal cries as you hit them, and B, you get more backstory from fighting humans than you do animals because of the whole animals can't speak thing. The mini-bosses that I ran into in Valhalla have reasons for dueling you and certainly don't hold back, with their own arenas and specific fighting style, not just reusing animations and weapons from high-level foes like berserkers and slayers. Odyssey had giant cities full of stone pathways, beautiful oceans and rolling hills. Origins had the pyramids and petal-strewn temples, and England has bogs. I'm sorry, I love English countryside, but the demo I played has a section where England just looks a bit meh. The marshes and bogs simply don't look that enticing and tended to blend into one another, and the town of Norwich wasn't much better. Seeing ruins of Roman houses throughout East Anglia spiced up the landscapes a bit, and this huge tree at said stone is awesome, but the settlements I explored lacked a certain something. The rest of England will probably be more diverse, with each region having its own flair, but East Anglia was just a bit meh. And that's 9 things I liked about Assassin's Creed Valhalla and 3 things I didn't. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to Eurogamer for more videos about Assassin's Creed Valhalla from yours truly. We have a new video out every single day, so there's always something to watch. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and read up on Cordelia and Regan in British history, so I'll see you next time.